So what we want to do is you want to get a Phillips screwdriver, and as you can see 2 Phillips screws, and you need to remove those. Once you remove both of these screws, this will come back like this. So the screws that you want to unscrew are the screws that are only silver colored. So you have one right here, one right here, one right here, and there's another one right here. To make this process a little bit easier, we're going to remove the lower unit. And to remove the lower unit, you're going to have 12 millimeter bolts. There's one right here, and 2 on the other side. And also located on your trim tab, which is this right here, above your propeller, you want to remove it because there is also a screw underneath that you must remove to remove the lower unit off the engine. So right now what I'm doing is I'm lifting up the motor, and as you can see I'm doing it this way because I don't have controls, so I have to apply power directly to the trim unit. And the reason why I'm trimming it up is because I have to remove the lower unit. Okay, so depending on your motor, if you can remove your power head without removing the lower unit, you scored so far. But if you can't remove your power head, you want to get a crowbar, and I'll show you what to do. So this is on rare occasions. I took apart many of these 40s, 50s, and 90s two-strokes because a lot of them, they blow up. Usually I don't have to do this, but for this one, I don't know why. For some reason, the gasket wouldn't break, so the way you do it is you wanna get something, maybe like a crowbar or something, and you just want to put it underneath the head and just slightly, you push it up so it could break the seal. As you can see, I already got it loose. So now it should be, there we go, so it's broken. And if you're wondering why I remove the lower unit off the engine, that's because if you don't remove the lower unit off the engine, the only position you can move this power head is going up. You can't go left and right like this because the shaft is connected, which is going to prevent it to move it left and right to break the seal. So that's the reason why I removed the lower unit. So here we are. We're pretty close to removing this power head. As you can see, I'm using a engine hoist. If you have an engine hoist, you want to use an engine hoist or something because this makes it a lot easier. But you could do it by yourself once you remove everything. I did this before and just lifting it up. It's not that heavy. It's about 90-100 pounds. So we're gonna have to remove this screw right here on the starter, which is the ground wire leading to the starter. So your next step is you want to come down here to your solenoid, your relay, and it is a 10 millimeter nut that you need to remove. And we're removing this nut because we need to remove the positive terminal of the cable. Now, as you guys can see, the positive terminal's out, and then there is a red wire connected right here. This red wire runs into the back of this, and you could gently pull this out and it'll come out just like that. So I forgot to include in the video this step. As you could see, these 2 wires, they are green and blue. These are connected to the trim unit, which is down there, to the trim motor. And these 2 wires lead to this right here. One of them goes on right here, and another one goes on this right here, this one. So you want to make sure you remove those wires. So you want to go to the front of your engine right here and find your pistor tube and disconnect that tube. give it a pull like that. So here, as you can see, this is the front of the power head, the front of the engine. This is the pistor tube I disconnected. You want to disconnect this right here. This is for the side tilt and trim switch. Pops out just like that. Then we're going to move on to the rear of the engine. On the rear of the engine, you'll see a lot of small stuff. You're going to have to disconnect this stuff. You're going to have to disconnect this green wire. There's a little pin right here, little place to put your finger and pull it out like that. Disconnect this pink and black one. Next, we have to disconnect the fuel hose. Fuel hose, you could either disconnect it from here or the main place where it feeds in. But I'm just going to disconnect it right here. So we're on the left side of the engine. If your engine has this plate looking thing, we have to remove it because we have to get some of these wires out. It's like it's a piece of plastic with you can just turn it like that. Now we can remove some of these wires out. Trying to make it organized, pull some of these wires, make sure none of this crap's connected. Now I lifted the engine up a little bit so I could disconnect this bracket, which is connected to the shift shaft rod. You don't have to lift it up, if you don't have a hoist. It just makes it easier. So it makes it a lot easier to remove this bracket with the shift shaft rod. So you need to remove these both of these screws. Once you have both of these screws off, we're ready to remove the power head. So now that everything is off, you get to lift the power head up. Move some of these wires out of the way. Now, I'm just gonna roll this back, and that's it. Now you could either rebuild this power head or just put another one on. It's really easy to do this. You just have to make sure you change your gasket. Here's the old one. Just ripped it off. Gotta clean it up, make it all nice, get a new gasket, put a new power head down, torque all the bolts, and your motor will be ready to go. So yeah, that's how you do it.